Okay, now we're going to talk about walking with crutches after a labral repair. So, when I get to standing, I need to remember I am allowed and encouraged to put weight through this leg. It is important to get up as tall as you can while you're standing to help improve the mobility of your lower abdominals and your hip flexors so that ultimately this feels better quicker after surgery and so that we can normalize the way that you walk. So when I am in my crutches and they are fit correctly, there should be 2 fingers worth of space between the crutch and my armpit. My arm should be at a slight bend so that I can use my hands and my elbows to push me when I walk, not hanging on my armpits. If I hang on my armpits, I'm going to end up with numbness and tingling in my fingers as I'm compressing a nerve and have shoulder pain, neck pain. So as I'm using my crutches, I want to push through the handles of my crutch to support the weight. So when walking with crutches on a post-surgical hip, I can start with weight bearing on my hip, my crutch and my surgical leg come through first. I step through that right leg, advance the crutch and my right leg, step through that leg, crutch, right leg, step through. The most important thing you can do is step through. The more I get my leg behind me, the more I open up the front of my hip, the better I feel, the faster I feel better. So getting that leg behind you is really, really important. As you start out, you're going to be anxious, and so a shorter step or letting crutches come forward, right leg come forward, and come through in separate units is okay. But again, we want that right leg to get behind us to be more normal. Typically, after a labral repair, you're on crutches anywhere from 10 days to 4 weeks. And that length of time is determined by how painful you are, how tight you are, but most importantly, how normal you walk. So the sooner you can get to stepping through, the sooner you will be able to walk without crutches. The transition after a labral repair is 2 crutches, and then we transition to 1 crutch before we turn you loose. So if I'm going to walk with 1 crutch, my crutch goes underneath the arm opposite to my surgical side, and now it's the same pattern. So I'm going to crutch, right leg through, crutch, right leg through, crutch, right leg through. This single crutch transition offers me just a little extra support as coming off of this surgery, I have some weakness through stabilizers in my hip and low back that as I continue to grow in my community ambulation or being out in public, we want to make sure that that gait pattern or my walking doesn't turn into short, limpy walking that's going to result in increased hip tightness, back pain, and overall discomfort. So, walking, weight allowed, stepping through, and you'll be back to new before long.